Tali Campbell Report, the hockey special, and NameDropper.tv Productions. This show is brought to you by Island Sports News. If you want to catch on them, go to www.islandsportsnews.net. Now on today's show, we're going to have a debate between a Canucks fan and a Boston fan about the final series. Also, we're going to do news, and also we're going to recap of the draft. That's all coming up in the Tali Campbell Report hockey special. Now before we mention who we're with, first let you guys know this is the hat that was worn by Boston Bruins, who actually when they won the Cup in Vancouver. But now we are joined by Montana Mize, a Boston Bruins fan, Zach Simpson, who is a Vancouver Canucks fan. And we got a few questions to ask them. Now let's start with the referees. The referees for the series were Dan O'Ryan, Dan O'Rule, Kelly Sutherland, and Stephen Waltercombe. Do you agree that the ref did a good job? Zach?
I disagree personally. I thought that a lot of the calls were that didn't get made should have been made and could have changed a lot of the outcomes of the games.
All right, now Montana, what do you think about the referees?
I disagree. There's a lot of calls and there's a lot of chippiness from both teams that the ref should have called. And with that hit on was it Horton there? It probably shouldn't have been a huge suspension. They gave the major, that should have been in.
Yeah.
That's all I can see of it there.
All right, now the aspect of hockey, Luongo did great in Game 1, did good in Game 2. What happened in Game 3, Montana?
Game 3, he just, came to Boston, right? Boston's always bounced back. They go down 2 games to Montreal, right? They bounce back, right? Came to Game 3, they came all confident. They knew it. Thomas is great. They only lost because, 2 screw-ups, right? They messed up. Chara ran into Thomas, or Thomas gave up, ran too far. Challenge came in, right? Just come to Boston and Luongo, I just think he just choked.
Zach, what happened to your goaltender, Luongo?
Well, I think that the fans in Boston played a big part in Luongo's performance in Game 3. I mean, in that building, it's definitely hard to perform to your fullest potential with those fans constantly nagging you, etc. But, I mean, I think that Luongo had a pretty good series, but I think they could have played Schneider a little bit more than they did. I would have been happy if they had, but yeah, definitely the fans played a big part in Luongo's performance.
And we all know, if you guys did watch the game, TD Garden is electric. Those fans are definitely in support of Boston. Now let's skip the other games. Let's go to Game 7, the game that everyone watched. I think it was over 6 million people watched this game. Who do you blame the Canucks loss on, Zach?
Canucks losing Game 7?
Is there anyone specific that you can blame?
Well, I think that there's not a specific person you can point your finger to. You got to really blame it on the Canucks organization as a group. I mean, the team didn't look very energized. You can blame that on the coach for maybe not putting the right lines together. But
who do you blame for Canucks loss in Game 7?
Well, it's really a big team failure if you think about it, because Bergeron, this game, scored a shorthanded goal, right? If you're doing that, that's a big problem. You shouldn't be. Your team has a power play, you shouldn't be scoring.
Now we all know Tim Thomas did win the most valuable player in the 2011 Stanley Cup playoffs. If, however, Boston did lose, who should have won on Vancouver? Montana.
Vancouver, I'd have to say probably Schneider, because he stepped up and played. When Luongo was getting down, he came out and played nothing.
Zach?
100% I go with Ryan Kessler. I thought he played great defensively, offensively. He was in the right position at all times. He looked like he had a lot of energy and jump going into every game, and I thought Ryan Kessler played great.
All right, now to the riot that happened following Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals in Vancouver. Now, a lot of them say it was not hockey fans that started this riot. Do you agree with that statement or not, Zach?
I agree, because, I mean, I think it was people who knew what was going on and just, I mean, it was pretty embarrassing, I think. I don't understand what the point it was, just to come out and destroy your own city and make a huge mess and cause a big fuss over, I mean, it's just a game, right? I mean, as serious as it can be, I think that it was a really fun series, and that wasn't needed at all.
Do you blame the fans?
I don't blame all the fans, because, there's probably a lot of people like, oh wait, this is going to happen, something's going to happen, one team's going to lose, there's going to be a riot. A lot of people like to come in there like gangs and stuff, they like to screw things up too, right? Because there was a lot of people stealing stuff out of stores and everything, right? That wasn't the whole thing, but you can't blame the fans and you can't blame any, it's kind of both sides.
All right, well, we'd like to thank Montana Mize, the Boston Bruins fan. You'll see Zach later in the National Hockey League news. But now we have our National Hockey League news, which is brought to you by Island Sports News. Here's Zach.
Hi there, Zach Simpson. The Lightning and goaltender have agreed to terms on a 1-year, $3 million contract. Canucks have signed defenseman Kevin Bieksa to a 5-year, $23 million contract. The Grimsby, Ontario native scored the Canucks' OT winner in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals against the San Jose Sharks, the goal in which advanced the Canucks to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in 17 years. In other Canucks news, Vancouver is unable to hang on to defenseman Christian Ehrhoff, as the New York Islanders give the Canucks a 2012 fourth-round draft pick for rights to negotiate with Christian Ehrhoff. If the Islanders do not claim Christian by July 1st, he goes back into free agency. The Canucks affiliate team, the Manitoba Moose, have moved to St. John and have become the Winnipeg Jets' new affiliate team. The new name of the Moose's relocated team is yet to have been announced. As for the Canucks, their new affiliate team is the Chicago Wolves. Oilers reacquire Ryan Smith. The left winger returns to Edmonton in exchange for a 7th-round draft pick and Colin Fraser. Smith had 23 goals and 24 assists for LA in 2011. The veteran should add some much-needed experience to the young Edmonton lineup. The Calgary Flames signed Alex Tanguay to a 5-year, $3.5 million per year contract. Flyers and Ilya Bryzgalov agreed to terms on a multi-year contract. Details are yet to have been made. And that's all for today. Back to you, Tali.
Now, we also would like to mention my cue cards for a moment. We also like to mention that Jaromir Jagr has also been talks with Pittsburgh Penguins with possibly a $2 million for 1-year contract. Now, we do have a prize giveaway brought to you by Island Sports News. It is the only sports website on Vancouver Island. Today, we're giving away an ISN toque and t-shirt. If you guys would like to try and get your free t-shirt and toque, all you have to do is answer the question of the day, which is, which Boston Bruins fan... Well, let me say it again. Which Boston Bruins player scored the first goal in Game 7? If you know the answer, think you know the answer, email me at tally@namedropper.tv. That's T-A-L-I @namedropper.tv with your name, your the answer, obviously, your age, where you're from, and we'll get back to you. In the next show, we'll let you know who won that. And on next week's show, we have Tanya Brzovich in here to talk about the Winnipeg Jets. Also, we're going to talk about some free agency, because free agency does open Canada Day. And a lot more. We'd like to thank Montana Mize, the Boston Bruins fan, for coming in. Also, Zach Simpson, our news reporter, and also the Vancouver Canucks fan. I'm Tali Campbell, and NameDropper.tv Productions. Have yourselves a good night.